get in, let's see how this dash of the Mazda, or commonly referred to as Mazda in Japan, is all about. All you can see is a typical European design. If I was to actually close this logo or hide it, what did you think? Probably look like an Audi or a BMW, and that is how Mazda has improved its game consistently, trying to make sure that these cars now have that European appeal, standing out from the crowd from your traditional Japanese brands, and now offering a better value, better quality, and better design, courtesy of the Kodo philosophy which Mazda has employed. Now let's start with the center console. As always, as you can see here, this is an 11-inch display that is multicolor and houses navigation that works in Kenya, boss. Navigation that works, so you don't need to get lost. And of course, you do have a thumping audio system that I will play shortly. So that sound is courtesy of a 12-speaker Bose audio system with 295 watts. That is raw power. The multimedia interface system that's found on the CX-9. I can tell you Mazda have done a lot. They've really actually tried to incorporate a few things that are found on Google and their own system to make sure that it is as helpful as possible. What is of keen interest to me is the navigation aspect. It actually works in Kenya. And if, for example, I want to do a road trip to South Africa, so these particular maps can actually support me in Lesotho, Mozambique, Namibia, Reunion, South Africa, Swaziland, Tunisia, and Zimbabwe. If I'm looking for help and I've just gone for a road trip and I need, say, a car, a health, I'm not feeling too well, I have a stomachache, I need to go to a hospital, I press health and it will quickly scan around, and the nearest spot to me is Mid Hill Medical Clinic in Kajiado, Ngong, which is exactly 2 kilometers, and the direction is northeast. That is how good it is. If I need a doctor on standby, I have Dr. E.K. Thuo Clinic, Kajiado, Ngong. So if you're seeing it, please buy this particular car. So guys, at the gearbox, as you can see here, you do have quite a number of buttons, and obviously you have your traditional gear shift knob, which is Tiptronic. You can actually toggle through the different modes of the gearbox, and of course you do have some power settings. You have sport and comfort, so you flick down. If you're driving on the traffic, it's on comfort mode, so the car behaves very well. The gearbox selects higher gears for higher efficiency, but of course if you want to more power, you actually can switch to sport, and then you can feel the might of the Mazda CX-9 on the highway. Obviously you do have here the navigation system. This is a multimedia interface which actually looks like a BMW sort of design. So you do have a knob that allows you to control certain functions on the screen, and of course home and music and radio, and of course you have an electronic park brake. No more pulling up like this. It's like all electronic. Now to the instrument pinnacle, where it is most important, where I love very much. Now clear and precise writing, as you can see here. In the middle you do have a high crisp resolution display that actually is digital and allows you to see certain aspects of the car's critical aspects, including what the car is doing if the doors are open, temperature settings, and of course on the left you do have a tachometer which revs all the way to 8,000 rpm, and of course on the right you do have battery, temperature, oil level, and fuel. All that is very, very important. And of course in the middle you also have one of the things that are very important, which is the safety component. Here you have active cruise control, you do have lane departure assist, it will tell you, and of course over here you can also relay all this information to the heads-up display that allows you to concentrate on the road without taking your eyes off it, so it will reflect whatever is here onto the screen without taking your eyes off, and you're able to know what speed you're running, what radio station is playing, navigation of course, and so many other things that are very intricate when it comes to giving vital information to the driver. That said, we need to go to the back and find out whether Mr. Murigi is comfortable and if this car is practical for the Kenyan family.
So the Mazda CX-9 is not just fun to drive, it's fun to be driven in, and that's why I'm over here in the back left. These spectacular Nappa leather seats, they are very comfortable, and for the first in this segment, they actually are cooled seats in the back over here. You actually also have 3-zone climate control, so at the back here you can set your own AC and you should be fine. Lots of space to put stuff in this car. If you can't fit your stuff inside this car, you're carrying too much. There's space at the back here, there's space in the door bins, and there are additional 2 cup holders over here, as well as an additional storage space that has 2 USBs. In addition to all of this, these seats are actually adjustable. You can actually move to the front, to the back, just to adjust how much space that you feel like. And as a CEO, you don't want to be seen. Look at this, there's a shade, it's like you're in a Mercedes. The theme here is excellence. It's Takumi, attention to detail, and the CX-9 is not playing when it comes to that. Let's go to the back and see how much space it has. There is so much space in the back of the Mazda CX-9 that if you run out of places to put things, you're carrying too much stuff. The boot is massive, and inside the car there are 10 cup holders for drinks that when you're on a long trip, lots of small places for you to put stuff to make this a very, very practical car. Under here we have the spare tire and the subwoofer for the Bose surround sound system. And you must not forget that the Mazda CX-9 is actually a 7-seater, so there are 2 seats here that you can just pull up. And these seats are big enough for an adult. We're going to do a test and show you that. But before we do that, let's get on the road and see what this has to offer as a driving experience.
So guys, I am driving this CX-9 Mazda on one of our bypasses, and I can tell it's an amazing experience. You know, this particular car is punching above its weight, I can tell you for a fact. It is designed to compete with the likes of the Porsche Cayenne, believe it or not, the BMW X5, the Audi Q7, and many other cars that are just above its class. What Mazda has done, improve the quality, give you a car with a serious Kodo design, very fluidic design, and of course merging with Skyactiv technologies. Now Skyactiv is an acronym that Mazda uses for efficient yet powerful engines that has full driver engagement, and we are right here on the bypass just trying to see what this car can do. So let's start with the power. Number 1, it's a 4-cylinder turbo petrol, 2.5 liter, producing 170 kilowatts and 420 newton meters of torque, enough to do this. As it pulls, listen, I'm quickly doing 5,000 RPM and doing 140 kilometers an hour, and the 6-speed automatic, not CVT, allows me to explore the full potential of this particular car, and it is matched to an all-wheel drive system that distributes torque to the 4 wheels depending on the need and the basis of traction, which is very important, both on and off-road. Now, Skyactiv technology, 1, cylinder shut off. So when you're driving in traffic, like now we just got into a patch of traffic, it shuts off 2 cylinders. So it means you have better fuel efficiency. In fact, on average, it does 8.8 liters per 100 kilometers, which is not too bad for such a bulky car. Again, in terms of power and performance, very important. Skyactiv has quite a number of acronyms. There's something called G-force vectoring. Now, G-force vectoring basically allows the car to redistribute torque based on the weight distribution of the vehicle. So if you're driving fast on a corner, the vehicle will sense through the gyroscopic sensors around the vehicle that this car, the weight is moving towards the front. Now, to ensure that there's enough balance, the system will selectively brake the rear wheels to ensure that you remain stable even on a sharp curve. And in case all hell breaks loose, then you can rely on the active brake force distribution and torque vectoring by braking. So if you're running out of talent on a corner, then the brake system will actually try and see if you're able to correct the situation and get you back on track as you drive the Mazda. You do have your traditional cruise control, now with an added layer of active cruise control, which uses a radar-based system to calculate the distance between the car in front of you and yourself, and you're able to maintain a certain speed. Apart from that, you also have lane departure warning, which warns you if you're straying away from a lane. So it has stereoscopic cameras over here. You do have cross traffic alert when you're reversing out of a parking and the car is coming. It will sense and will stop immediately. And of course, you do have emergency autonomous braking during traffic, so that if you don't react by braking and there's an obstacle in front of you, the car will automatically brake to ensure that you remain safe on the road. You also have crumple zones around, and 8 airbags as standard, and then you do have obviously safety belt, very important, the key component for safety in every car. we're gonna find out if the CX-9 is capable off-road just like a Volkswagen Touareg or a X5 or a Porsche Cayenne. So Mirigi will take us through that session and we'll give you the lowdown on how the all-wheel drive system of this car works in conjunction with the suspension.
We're off the road in the Mazda CX-9. This is not what this was built for. This is supposed to be built for tarmac. That's where this car is supposed to show its stuff. And like Trevor showed you, it really handles really well. But once you get off the road, it's important to note that this does not have off-road modes. Although I have to say so far, it hasn't needed any of them. This is an all-wheel drive, all four wheels are driven, has very good ground clearance, and this suspension is actually pretty good once the road ends. You're seeing right now, it's been able to hack a lot of the stuff that we are doing over here on Gong Hills. It's been raining, so there's a lot of mud. This has actually been able to get over and above the mud. I honestly believe that if you have good tires in this car, there is nowhere you shouldn't be able to go. Ground clearance is spectacular. So let me just kick it off the road a bit. Let's make a turn. And as you can see, very easy to drive this car. Put the power down. And yes, one of the advantages of what they've done with this engine is that the power is available very low in the rev ranges. This is also very important when you're off the road. So on the road, this thing is spectacular. Off the road, it handles its business. But let's see how it stacks up against the competition. Let's go to value for money.
So guys, we've just sampled the CX-9 both on and off road, and I can tell you for a fact, Mazda ain't playing. Mr. Mirigi, what are your thoughts on the CX-9?
I mean, this thing is fun to drive and it's comfortable to be driven in. What I love about this car is the fact that there are no compromises. It gets nothing wrong. It does everything very well. It's fantastic to drive. It's comfortable to be in. It has loads of space. It has lots of technology. And at this price, why would you think about something else?
It's unbeatable.
Honestly, it doesn't make any sense for them to be selling this thing at this price.
Now, how much is it?
It starts at 7.5 million shillings for the top spec edition, which you have over here. And you have to remember, you're talking Nappa leather, open pore wood, 7 seats, an incredible, amazing engine. I couldn't believe that that 2.5 litre has that much power.
Yes.
So 7.5 million shillings at CMC, 3-year warranty, 100,000 km.
And also remember, this particular car plays in a certain segment, but the likes of the BMW X5, the Porsche Cayenne, and many others continue to fight. This car is absolute value for money. I don't know what to say. I have tried to look for mistakes. There are none. Maybe a bigger engine, but this days size does not matter.
No.
Know what I mean?
Not at all.
So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Cars with Big Boy Trevor. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or queries, don't forget to hit us up as seen on the social media handles below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Signing out, this is Big Boy Trev.
This is Mirigi. Drive safe
and be safe.